Alrighty, how are we doing, people? In the background we have a little bit of Modern Warfare 2 gameplay, and it's my favourite kind of gameplay. It's the gameplay that I relish to see. All those people who send me videos of Black Ops 2 and nuclears and all that, forget that. If you've got any Akimbo 1887 footage, send it to me. So I want to watch it. If I see that come up in my inbox, I will be watching it, I will be liking it, and I will be favouriting it, and I will be watching it again, because I love the Akimbo 1887s. Even when Black Ops 1 was kind of in full effect and coming towards the end, I would still go on YouTube to watch Akimbo 1887 gameplays if there was any updated, and they seem to be favourable with the Germans, which is quite unusual, but there's a lot of German commentators who'd be uploading triple kills and multi-kills, and for me, these guns are still the epitome of Modern Warfare 2. I suppose everybody in every game has got one thing, one gun, one item, one perk, one map that will make them remember that game forever. For me, it's the Akimbo 1887s. These guns are like nostalgia. They're like walking into a sweet shop and going back 20 years to when you were a kid and thinking of all those happy times when you'd smell that sugar. You know, that's what I get with Akimbo 1887s. When I hear that sound, I'll go back 4 years or whatever it was to having a blast. So yeah, Akimbo 1887s, couple of gameplays just mixed up I think. And what I'm using is Marathon Lightweight Ninja, MP5 with a red dot sight, and the Akimbo 1887s. That's it, that's all you need. Run your ass around the map and literally porn, rape and whatever else, because stopping power with these was I never felt you needed it that much. You know, there was the whole thing about after they got patched you could put bling with them and put FMJ back on and you'd get that range, and it was true, and then they patched that and it was like, oh you bastards. So now they haven't got a lot of range, but sometimes they pull a few surprises out, and even with lightweight on as well. Now what I wanted to talk about in particular was I've kind of had my connection really fixed today. Now I'm not just saying with Black Ops 2, I'm saying with all games. I'm saying with Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, everything. Now one of my subs sent me a video and he gave me some advice on how I could possibly fix my port forwarding and all the rest of it. Fair play to him, I really appreciate it, it was really kind of him. I've already kind of done that. If you remember, I did the port forwarding and port triggering video a while ago. It was kind of similar to that. It was all the same settings that I've got. So I really appreciate that, and I'm really thankful to him to do that. And I said anything he wants, I'll owe him a favour. So that was really kind of him. The great thing about the video that he sent me is that it's by a guy called Gnarly Rick. Now Gnarly Rick is the recruitment manager for Yeousch. So effectively he's kind of one of my bosses, if you like. And what he did a video which was similar to mine, but 1 million times better. He's got so much more information, he's got so much more detail, he's got pictures on screen, he's got fraps running, so he's showing you exactly what the websites you want to click and what you want to type in and all the ports you want to use, and if you've got a Linksys router and all the rest of it. So if there are any questions you still have or you had that I never answered because I probably didn't know or nobody got back to you about port forwarding or port triggering, or if you're just curious and you might want to try something different that you may have missed out, I'm going to put the link to that video from Rick in the description. So yeah, that's down there. Now, I may have something that might possibly help you as well. I don't know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a verbal disclaimer, okay? That verbal disclaimer is that if this doesn't work for you, don't fucking come crying to me, moaning, calling me a bastard, that I've got your hopes up, and that I am a master of trickery and deceit. Even though I did a video on war streaks, that was a one-off. Okay? This is not a one-off. I always say if I can help you, I will help you. If something works for me, I will try and impose it upon you guys, and if it works for you, then fantastic. All the merrier, you know, then you can tell me that, I don't know, I'm the most handsome man in the world, and I will agree with that. Maybe not. But here's the little lead up to the story. What happened was, on my desktop I have an icon, and on this icon it links me direct to Virgin Media. It links me to an administrator. It's an extra thing you have to pay for. It's like £10 a month, but it means you have direct access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to somebody if you have questions about your internet. You ask this guy in the end, he answers, and he can take remote control, XYZ. You kind of get the idea. Now I wanted to ask him about my ports and make sure that everything was working okay. So he went on there and he scanned through it and he had a look. And he came back to me, and one of the things he said, and this is for Xbox 360 guys, okay? Whether this works for you guys on PS3, I don't know, but this is for people who might not know about this. As he was looking through my ports, he typed back at me and he said, "Why are you on wireless and wired?" And I said, "I'm not." And I looked at my basic settings on my Xbox 360 and it said wireless mode off, Ethernet. So I typed that back and I let him know. And he came back at me and he said, "No," he said, I've reset it, I've refreshed it, God knows how many times. Can you turn your Xbox on? Can you turn it back off? Can you turn your router on? Can you turn it off? Can you reset your router? All these different things. I had to go through all these motions. Anyway, he came back and he said, "It's still showing that your Xbox 360 is showing as wireless and wired." And I said, "I don't know what to tell you." I said, "I've got one of the kind of newer versions and it's got the Wi-Fi built into it. I don't know how to turn it off." And I felt like a bit of a noob when he came back and he said to me, "What you have to do is pull out your Ethernet cable from your router, then go into wireless and press disconnect." So I did exactly that. So I pulled out the Ethernet cable from my router. It then went from wired to wireless. I clicked on wireless and there it was, disconnect. So I clicked that, then I totally lost it. I lost all my connection, I lost everything. So I turned my Xbox on and then off again, went back on, let the guy know. I said, "Right, I've done that." He looked, he said, "Okay." He said, "What it is," and this is apparently the theory, because your router can recognise wireless and wired, it's getting confused and therefore it doesn't know quite where to channel the connection. So it will kind of be trying to channel the connection to the wireless even though it's not accepting it because it's not joined up or configured, I suppose maybe. It's still trying to kind of send that signal, so it's kind of getting mixed messages. So he said, what you have to do is you either have to choose one or the other. Oh my god, I've had a totally different playing experience today just from that one thing. That one thing, it has all felt nice. Nice. Not just nice, but nice and moist. It's unbelievable. Now, I'm not saying this is going to cure all your connection problems. I'm not saying that lag compensation's going to be gone and you're going to have 200 plus gameplays. Yeah, it hasn't fixed the whole problem of lag compensation, but it's certainly made it a lot easier to deal with. So maybe it can help you. Obviously, don't bang me up to rights if it doesn't. But yeah, the first guy there was two guys I dealt with this. This one guy who was the very first guy who was dealing with me, he was a monkey. He really was an absolute tool. He didn't have a clue. He had to pass me over to this guy eventually who told me this information. He was clearly the cleverer one of the two, but the first guy was asking me questions. I was saying, "Hey, can you just check my port forwarding to make sure that everything's A-OK, as I experience a few networking issues and a little bit of problem with lag compensation." And then he would take like 25 minutes to reply back, and then you would get a reply back saying, "So with regards to your port forwarding, what do you mean?" And it's like, port forwarding, why am I telling you this? Go into my router, you've got all my details, you've got remote access to my computer. What is it you would like me to do? What the fuck? I've fucking asked you, what do you expect me to do? Hang on a minute, mate, I'll come over to bloody Delhi where you are and I'll come and do it for you. It's like me going round to somebody's house and them giving me a set of drawings and saying, "Right, there we go, there's the proposed extension that we'd like done to our house. What do you think?" And then me just looking at the drawing and going, So when you say extension, what do you mean? Well, we mean an extension on the side of the house. Oh, okay. Now, how would I start this? Well, I guess you're going to dig down, yeah? Yeah, dig, yeah. We'll start with that, definitely. Now, in the hole, what am I going to put in that hole? Concrete? Concrete's good. Concrete's good. It just wouldn't happen. I don't know. Customer service. Anyway, hope that helps maybe, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background too, and I will see you later. Much love. Apocalypse done.